Okay, this is the Viking Husqvarna Model 8, and it actually is one of the very first free arm machines that Viking came out with in 1947. And this particular model was born in 1948, and it is everything about power and everything about large workspace with almost 15 inches of workspace with this extension bed that the machine comes with. Let's go ahead and start on the bottom right hand side, just above this beautiful royal crest that represents the Husqvarna Viking brand. This is obviously a control to lower or to drop the feed dogs. It's very simple. By turning it counterclockwise, you can lower or drop the feed dogs, and then just as easily turn it back to engage those feed dogs again, so you can resume sewing after doing freehand embroidery work or sewing more delicate fabrics like silks or satins. If we go straight up, this is obviously the stitch length control. And this machine comes with a very wide range and variation of stitch length. Anything from around 5 or 6 stitches per inch all the way down to 30 stitches per inch. And it's also very easy to lock in that stitch length depending on what project you're doing. You would simply move it up to the position that you want, somewhere within the range of 0 to 4, and then simply turn this knob to lock it in place. It's also very easy to sew in reverse as well. You simply move this all the way to the top to sew in reverse, and it's spring loaded. Once you're done sewing in reverse, you simply release it and it goes directly back into sewing forward again. Let me rotate the machine forward a little bit and show you that it does have 2 spool pins. And while it doesn't have a throat plate that's designed for a traditional zigzag type stitch, it is very easy to sew dual needle sewing with this particular model, either by using a larger needle where you can feed 2 threads simultaneously through the same eye of the needle, or you can buy adaptive type needles that have a hole one above the other, and again you're able to utilize both of these spool pins for dual needle sewing. We're going to go across now and look at just how easy it is to thread. I'm going to lower the machine back down, and if you want to just follow me from right to left, coming over to here we obviously have one thread guide. The thread then comes across, goes through the second thread guide, down through the tension control, up to the arm, and then all the way down to the presser foot. And you can see we have a huge amount of clearance underneath that presser foot. But an added bonus with this Model 8 is you also have a modest hyperextension that allows you to gain even a little bit more clearance if you're looking at sewing very heavy grade materials or maybe trying to fit that additional layer of quilt batting. It's an easy thing to do with this Model 8 because of the built-in clearance and then the added hyperextension as well. Let me show you an example before I demonstrate how easy it is to remove this bed so you can do free arm type work. Let me show you an example of the work that we did on this Viking Husqvarna. Being that it is fall, we decided to do a pumpkin type theme similar to the last one where we had a little boy playing in the leaves. And as the camera's moving around, you'll notice number 1, you'll see a good amount of that stitch variation represented. Again, anything from around 5 or 6 stitches per inch, all the way down to 30. You'll also notice what incredible control we have with the foot control. Again, this has the traditional Husqvarna Viking foot control, kind of the race pedal style foot control, and yet it's able to really manage its strength with that 1.5 amp motor. Again, this Viking Husqvarna comes with a motor that is larger than the FOF 130, larger than the 130-6 FOF, and larger than any of the Nietzsche light industrial type machines. It really is a super powerhouse machine. And we also are going to be including, as usual, an original owner's manual. This Husqvarna manual for the Model 8 is going to cover every aspect of this machine. And it really is a very simple, straightforward machine to use. But when a question does surface, you're able to go to this operating manual and find your answer very quickly and then resume with your project work. It's also going to help you maintain the machine. Again, with all of our machines, we invest on average 6 hours in every single machine. Everything from lubing it to cleaning it to conditioning it to timing it, getting it running at that absolute optimal level. And when that routine maintenance ultimately comes due, this manual walks you through the simplest of steps in maintaining it at that high operating level. What I'd like to do now is just go back to the machine and show you again how easy it is to remove this free arm. Again, when you're looking at the spans of this, I don't know if the camera can get that or not, the workspace, the harp area, and the extension bed together gives you almost 15 inches of workspace, a huge amount. But if you need to remove the free arm to do cuffs or to do pant legs or something like that, you can see it's very easy to slide this off. Also, if you decide you want to access the bobbin area without having to reach underneath, you can simply slide that free arm off and you have access to the bobbin area very, very quickly. And just as easily, when you get ready to use that bed again, you simply slide this on and it locks back in place again. So what I'd like to demonstrate last is one of the other really nice features about these Viking Husqvarnas, especially this Model 8, is when it comes to winding a bobbin. On a traditional machine, if you're looking to wind a bobbin, you've got to disengage the clutch typically. You've got to do a variety of different things. With this Model 8, it can be done in a matter of seconds. Here I've got my bobbin. This one is obviously already wound, but I'm going to just carefully rotate this machine a little bit so you can get a, hopefully the camera is able to. This machine is just so long. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you've got a shot of the bobbin winding now. And what I want to demonstrate is if I were to push on the foot pedal right now, the clutch is engaged so the needle would move. But if I'm looking to wind a bobbin, I'm simply going to snap this on. And with that simple movement, I can push on the foot pedal and you'll notice that the bobbin spins, but the camera can pan over to the needle and you'll notice that the needle is not moving. Okay, I'm going to carefully move the machine back into position again. Hopefully I've got it pretty straight for the camera. Get my threads pushed back, and you notice that we haven't done anything yet. The bobbin is still on there. I'm going to, if the camera can pan across just real quick, I'm going to go ahead and take that bobbin off. I'm going to put a scrap piece of upholstery grade vinyl underneath the needle. And listen carefully when I push on the foot pedal. You'll hear that clutch re-engage with having done nothing other than taking that bobbin off the bobbin winding control area. Here we go. That simple little click, you're back in business, the clutch is disengaged, and you're able to resume sewing again. And I'm not even going to take much time in showing this other than it's a gorgeous stitch. We've got a gorgeous lock-in as well. But the real thing that I want to emphasize about this machine is its power. If you're looking to do heavy-duty sewing, if you're looking to do multiple layers of quilt batting, the largest motor that I've worked with is in this Viking Model 8. 1.5 amp again versus the FOF 130 or 130-6, which comes standard with a 1 amp or a 1.3 amp. So you have the largest motor possible, and you'll see that in the next stitch offs when we sew heavy duty with this Viking Model 8.